He does not recognize power relationships over him. He does not know self and other. Okay, stupid. And not true, actually. That one's just not true. It's not just mystified. And how we know it's not true is the second sentence. He does not recognize power relations over or under him. That's kind of true, but not really. He does not know self and other. That's false. He does not accept or understand anything that lies beyond the scope of his microcosm. Maybe.
Yeah, I would just say this is another paragraph, which is just unclear. Thus far, I don't really know why this is an appendix.
It is the random game of sub-individuality and trans-individuality that post-human creates a model of the post-state. The post-state is an ironic parody of the state. This is point 3 under section 2. It is the state vice versa. The state is phantom. The state is mockery. Okay, this is dumb. Do you see anything worth talking about in that sentence that I didn't read?
I don't.
All right, moving on. Section 2.4. In political post-anthropology, all is reversed. Leisure and work, the most serious occupation, actual work, is watching television shows. Knowledge and ignorance, complete idiots are given jobs as academics. I don't know. Cough, cough. Someone's an academic. Public and private. Okay. Public and private have never been truly separated, even in capitalist modernity, although we keep trying to insist that it is, because it's an illusion of capitalism that is an ideological function of capital. There, I solved that for you.
That would have been a good appendix.
Yeah, that would have made sense. Why are we talking about post-politics when it's obviously something directly opposite to the political? Because such an anthropological type of postmodernity in theory and social practice steps in, i.e. it attacks, persistent, imposes itself, introduces itself, and gradually becomes a norm. It acts as a basic personality, Cardiner. And that's the reference. And for such an attack and such an advance, dispositif of power and collective identification, the political again is required. So it inverts itself. That's like a very convoluted way of making a dialectical point, but like a dumb dialectical point, like a dialectical point that has no sublation. Okay. I don't want to get into the stuff about the EDOs. 6, the party has a stylistic and strategic arsenal. This fashion and interactive information technologies, Twitter, mobile phones, social networks, blogs. Okay, this has to be after 2000 this has to be added significantly later because you can't mention Twitter in 2008.
Yeah.
Some nonsense about the French is in this. In French, fashion and technology are changing. In French, fashionable is often referred to by a slang word, branche, literally connected. Fashion and technology are changing rapidly, and one who is connected is the one who is changing along with it. Like, okay, cool. So you're paraphrasing Paul Virilio. Nice. Moving on. Twitter revolutions in the Arab world, they weren't Twitter revolutions. That's the way we encountered them. That's not how they were. Or iPad presidents, such as Dmitry Medvedev. Dude, you're going to pretend that Dmitry Medvedev wasn't just a placeholder for Putin? Come on.
I don't think I know what iPad president means. I don't think I understand what that term suggests.
Like he was a president using Apple technology or something?
Oh, okay. Well, sure.
Are clear signs of the political post-anthropology and the phenomenon of the post-state. Oh my God. This is meaningless. This is without meaning.
The revolt of the elites and the oscillation of the intensity level is of consciousness of the ruling groups are near zero. Okay.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. A classic example. Yeah.
Is a drug addict as a political strategist? Dugin, I think you do cocaine. Allegedly. All right.
I certainly, when reading this, I find that to be plausible. Yes.
Like any political, I'm not going to slander the man. He's probably sober, except for whatever they do in Russia. Like any political model, the political post-anthropology can accept it and may be rejected. It does not matter how it would insist on its own natural. How would it do anything? I can't even tell what it modifies. You have two different abstractions before it. A person can be both a structure of power and his own identity. What the fuck does that mean? The post-state, Twitter revolutions, and iPad presidents are all part of a single twin, stepping on and intruding. You know what? I am going to ban all political theorists from using slogans ever again. No more slogans for any of us, because we obviously cannot be trusted with words. Because this is like Epstein class, which is also like superficially meaningful, but also not all that particularly true. It seems like a way of like, I don't want to talk about capitalism, so I'm going to pretend that it's just predatory vampires at the top and not the system that creates the possibility for those predatory vampires to exist.
I can see why it has
populist. Anyway, go ahead.
I think it has utility in a certain moment, but then that moment that passes, and then you're just still using the term, and it's less descriptive and less powerful. It's basically, it is a reason to, like you said, to ban the use of slogans, at least in writing. Like if you refer to the Epstein class in a speech during a war within a few months of the Epstein, let's call it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But like trying to use it as an analytic category. Because the other thing is shock factor as an invocation is only useful for a very brief period of time. That's the other thing people miss about this kind of language. When you use this kind of language over and over again, it hollows itself out, which is why conservatives are actually very good at admitting new slurs constantly. Because they realize that and we don't. That's all I have to say.
That's all you have to say, but that'll be enough for now.
Yeah. This is section 3, the political soldier in a simulacrum, aka all right. This is Ernst Jünger meets Baudrillard in a way that makes no fucking sense. Because this reminds me of the anarch versus the anarchist and Jünger, and if you've not read later Ernst Jünger. Also, he did a lot of drugs, so just another classic example of drug addicts as political strategists. Jünger did that, but this also has a shit ton of Baudrillard in it, and like the simulacrum is that concept's a Baudrillardian concept. Yeah. The first alternative is political anthropology of the previous form. It is the face of the political post-anthropology. Okay, I'm going to say this. These next two sentences, if they were written in a clearer way, might not be dumb. All right. It can be generalized in the figure of the political soldier. This isn't an anthropological concept. No, it isn't. It gives... no, it is not. It gives no idea of what the political ideology of the political soldier follows, but the concept implies a belief in the existence of political ontology. The political soldier fights for a model of power relationships and directly and openly identifies himself with a particular group. Ours. A fundamental distinction of the political soldier is that he is ready and able to die for his political idea. This differentiates him from the ordinary soldier and an ordinary politician. A soldier dies, but not for a political idea. A politician fights for a political idea, but is not ready to die for it. This is just militancy. This is a description of militancy.
Yeah, because there certainly have been politicians who are willing to die for ideas. Right. There have been in a little while.
But then according to Dugin's Platonic form shit, they wouldn't be just politicians. They'd be political soldiers. I would say they'd be militants, but whatever.
Well, it's funny because even as I was trying to come up with an example, like Thomas Sankara is definitely a political soldier. So
right, yeah, like almost kind of literally.
Yeah. So I guess touche. Sure.
Yeah. This point 3 actually is not dumb. I'm going to say this. It's just written in a very dumb way. The political soldier may be a communist, a nationalist, or even a liberal, but in any case, he personalizes, not personifies, because that would make more sense. Personalizes modernity. Modernity is in its specific political form. The political soldier is a medium stunum. And I'm actually going to use a footnote of what he means by this. The organ that lies below a thorax, including a heart, a sacros, and so a body without organs. A political anthropology. Motherfucker, you are stacking metaphors. Just cut that out and you've made sense. But anyway.
Yeah, because this is otherwise a fairly clear, fairly decent paragraph. But
right. And as such, in theory, it can fight political post-anthropology. It will be conservative answer. This will be a conservative answer. I guess even the Marxists will be a conservative according to this. An individual fights an individual. The present ending rejects the atemporal post-historical future. Those two words mean the same thing. Atemporal without time, post-historical also without history. I guess they're not. I guess there's a subtle distinction, but that's redundant. God, I'm becoming a pro stylist now. The drama of the last human clashing with the post-humans in political conflict is at once very heroic, tragic, poetic, and hopeless. Okay, now removing the center part of that point, the militant LARPer dies fighting against the apolitical masses. And it seems heroic and tragic, but it is also hopeless.
Yeah.
That's
a pretty good
is actually an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And simple and understandable. And actually, I think somewhat true and should haunt us.
Yeah.
But all the rest of it seems like gobbledygook to convince English majors in the 1990s to become reactionaries, which they already secretly were anyway. I know, I used to be one. So, both a reactionary and an English major in the 1990s. I did read a lot of prose like this when I was in college, and it made me hate theory for a long time. I blame Heidegger.
Yeah, I can see
so much. I blame Heidegger for so much. But political post-anthropology makes such a position almost impossible. A political soldier is in a unique condition of the corrosive waters of post-modernity. He's converted into a simulacrum. How? Okay, let's continue. This is the main delicacy of post-modernity. It creates an ironic mutation in regard to all respects of modernity and in regards to anthropology in the first place. Today, it is already no longer possible to meet with a political soldier. We can only meet with his double, his simulacrum, his fake. Again, political LARPers do LARPy things. In this anthropological series of political and anthropological forms, postmodernity installs a vicious link. All threads that connect the political arena of postmodernity with modernity and deeper into political history are broken at the moment of postmodernity, and there is found a knot. After the knot, all that is visible continuality, a fake segment is situated. Today, there are no political soldiers. All that is left is their shells. All is LARP. Okay, cool. Moving on. I could have said that in one sentence.
Maybe one paragraph. Just so that you could be flowery if you wanted to.
Yeah. Alternatives.
I'm sorry. I meant for all of that, I meant like this entire part 3, the whole thing.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm with you. Okay, we're almost done. And other than the chapter and giving abstract concepts rights, this may be the dumbest part of the book.
I think it is. I think even more than the other chapter.
This is the chapter we talked about abstract concepts rights are his weird chapter on gender that I could not figure out at all.
Yeah.
Which is anyway. Alternatives in political post-anthropology, the pre-human and PC. So we might. So does PC mean personal computer, or does PC mean woke? We'll find out. And many such things. Quote, my thesis is reduced to the following affirmation. In the context of the political post-anthropology, post-modernity, and a post-human individual cannot be opposed to modernity and the human individual. Opposing dualities will not be like the individual versus the individual or the post-human versus the human, but like the individual versus the pseudo-individual and post-human versus the pseudo-human. The anthropological fold, Deleuze of postmodern anthropology, is this, a simulacrum that meets with a simulacrum. All is LARP. Again, I could say this in a sentence. That's 3 words. All right. In postmodernity, a political soldier is impossible. It can only be a simulacrum. You've already said that twice. All right. Consequently, the opposition must be different. It is not the previous anthropological link that is designed to collide with the post-anthropological segment of the anthropological series, which is located after the substituted element, not, but an entirely different figure. That is, one should speak as a political expression of the radical sub. I would fail this guy in an English class. The topic should be integrated into the fourth political theory. It is beyond the scope of this book to... What the fuck did you mention it then? Since it's beyond the scope of this book to even make any sense of what the garbage goof you just said.
I also like this. The topic should somehow be integrated into the fourth political theory. So
yeah.
it should somehow be integrated, but there's no space or time here to develop it. That means you should just not say it.
Yeah. But in general, we can say an alternative political post-anthropology is also pananthropology, but different. Did he literally just do same, but different?
Yeah.
He did. He did just do same, but different.
Yeah.
Is this an assault on my cognition?
I think it might be. It's kind of like how that when you read the phenomenology, it's designed to like break you and help to like reform. Basically, it's like the reason why it's the introduction is because you need to like work your way through it, because it's like it's a strength training.
But this is like Derrida's version of it, like of grammatology, which is supposed to go through the process of deconstruction by reading it. But by the end of it, I was like, I could have said this. This is a 2-paragraph gloss on Heidegger that you stretched out over 300 pages.
That's how you write a book.
That's not how I write a book. Is actively. I just wrote a book, Jason. That is not how I write a book.
No, that's true.
I co-wrote a book with Daniel Tutt, and I explicitly was like, "Hey, when we start getting weird and academic, can we stop though?" Not because I don't like people always. I find it crazy that people who read shit like this say I talk over their heads.
Well, yes. Again, I think it goes back to what you said before. I don't think a lot of people who say that they've read this have actually done so. Or they might have read the first couple of chapters or the first part of the first couple of chapters.
Well, I'll be charitable. I don't remember this either, and this is the 3rd time I read this book, and now I'm like, now I have sometimes skipped indexes. I don't remember if I did or didn't, but I'm now like making myself read this slowly makes me angry.
Yeah.
When you read it fast, you can fix it. You can be like, okay, this is just what he means. I can ignore half the verbiage here, right? Like, but when you're actually like close reading it, it's a different thing entirely. Okay, so let's get to these last 3 points so we can then talk about the chaos thing. We already mentioned that he said that this should be integrated somehow, but isn't. But we can fix this by saying it's same but different. And no, I'm not being uncharitable. That's what it says. An alternative political post-anthropology is also post-anthropology, but different. All right. 5. The roots of transgression of humanity's boundaries and limitations may not be as such as in the case of the individual, but it is not really the human that meets with the post-human in the political post-anthropology, but a pre-human, a pre-concept of the human. The point of origin that came before the human is parallel to him and will remain after him. Well, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, again, it's just I don't know what this is trying to say.
Nothing. Trying to say nothing. All right. Lastly, here we can also touch on the delicate theme of angelomorphosis.
I've never encountered that word.
To turn into an angel is what it would mean in translating it from the Greek.
Angelomorphosis. It means, well, I'm gonna have to use a different search engine because it didn't even show up.
It's not a word.
Yeah, I think it's not a definable term.
But
it is not.
Reducing from the roots metamorphosis and replacing it with angelo, I can deduce that this would mean to transmogrify yourself into an angel.
I'm going to extrapolate from this. It says the cosmic process is the alchemical process of uniting with our own heavenly celestial No, this is not helpful at all. This is definitely not going to clarify anything.
It's Gnostic bullshit's what it is. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So also, as we shall remind people, not that Christians care about the fact they're all like making pacts with heretics or anything, but this dude's a heretic. Moving on. It is no accident that in the eschatology of most religions and traditions, we are dealing with the Endkampf, the final war. I don't know why he decided to use the German word there. Panoramic view, which necessarily involves angels. I mean, except for cultures that don't have them. In Hollywood blockbusters, indeed, this also suffers from simulation, but it is inevitable. So we talking about, this feels like it's a 90s thing. Like everyone was into the weird apocalyptic Hal Lindsey shit. But all right, the political expression of a radical subject can be defined, but not as an area of political theology. Carl Schmitt, why do you do that? But as of a political angelology, the topic requires further development.
Please don't further develop this.
I fucking hate you. Like,
yeah,
this is cult bullshit. I'm just like this is, if I wanted to start a cult, this is what I'd be doing. But I have the sense to do it not in print,
and with just more clarity, because
if you want to talk about lack of clarity, wait till you get to the next one.